Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I have a horrific story to share with you out of St. Petersburg, Florida, where police say they received extremely disturbing information about a teen who was reported missing by her grandmother on February 24th of 2025. According to police, 16-year-old Miranda Corset, who lived with her grandmother, was known to take off for a couple of days here and there without telling her grandmother where she was. But her grandmother said she was never gone for long periods of time, and she always came back home. But that all changed after she met a man on an online dating app in February. Police say 16-year-old Miranda met 35-year-old Stephen Gress on an unnamed dating app, and Stephen got her to meet up with him on Valentine's Day. Then she met up with him again the day after and never returned home again. So her grandmother reported her missing on February 24th. As police were investigating Miranda's whereabouts, they say a person with information about her case came forward on March 6th, and the information they had was shocking. They said that Stephen Gress lured Miranda Corset to the home where he was living with his partner Michelle Brandis on 27th Avenue North the day after they first met on Valentine's Day. Miranda was staying with the couple at their home when an argument broke out on February 20th about some jewelry that supposedly went missing. Police were told that sometime between February 20th and February 24th, Miranda was brutally beaten and unalived by the couple, and they were seen loading Miranda's lifeless body into a car. Then police said they drove Miranda's body to another house in Largo. After searching that home, police said they found evidence that the couple dismembered Miranda there, and they were told the couple disposed of Miranda's body in a dumpster in Hillsborough County. They're still working to locate Miranda's body. When police went to arrest Stephen Gress, they found that he had already been arrested on March 5th for possession of illegal substances and for pointing a harpoon at Michelle Brandis. So he was already behind bars, and now he'll stay behind bars after he's charged with Miranda's death. But Stephen's partner Michelle is not behind bars, even though the witness that came forward showed police proof that she was involved in beating and torturing Miranda, causing her death, and in relocating her body to the second location where they dismembered her. Police say Brandis is now wanted, and they've told her to turn herself in during a press conference detailing what they now believe happened to 16-year-old Miranda Corset. They say if she doesn't turn herself in, they will find her. And they will charge anyone and everyone who's helping her hide from police. Here's the press conference with a stern warning to parents to make sure they know who their children are talking to online. I couldn't agree more. What happened to Miranda Corset is horrific. She was only 16 years old. May she rest in peace. Thank you, as always, for watching. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more true crime stories. Stay safe out there, and here is the press conference.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to update you on the case of Miranda Corsetti, the missing juvenile went missing on February the 24th. I am going to outline the timeline for you, but I want to remind you that this is an ongoing investigation. So as law enforcement continue the investigation, things could change at any moment. So here's the timeline how it first started. So yesterday afternoon, we had a witness that came in and said she wanted to provide us information on the missing juvenile from Gulfport. Based on the tips and investigation by the detective, we believe that 16-year-old Miranda Corsetti was contacted by 35-year-old Stephen Gress on a social media app, And I'm going to stop there for one moment and just want to remind all the parents out there, please, please, I'm begging you, please, make sure you know what your kids are doing on social media. And to the kids also, if someone is contacting you and are not a family member, please let your parents know. So again, we're talking about a 16-year-old that was contacted by a 35-year-old. On February the 14th, we know that Mr. Gress went to Miranda's home, picked her up, took her to his house, which is located at 2708 27th Avenue North. He took her to the house. She spent the day there. We know he took her back on the 24th. On the 15th of February, we know she went back to the house on her own. Now, on the 20th at the house, there was some type of dispute over some missing jewelry. So from the 20th to the 24th, she was beaten and tortured because they could not find this piece of jewelry. We know that sometime there, she was then killed. Mr. Gress placed her body in his car along with his domestic partner, Michelle Brandis, and they drove her to Largo. In Largo, the detectives found evidence that Miranda was dismembered at that location. They then placed her in a car and they drove her down to Ruskin, where they dumped her into a dumpster, and her body is somewhere possibly in a landfill somewhere in that county. Yesterday we realized that Mr. Gress was already in custody for pointing a harpoon at his domestic partner and possession of drugs. He is still in county jail as we speak today. We are now looking for Michelle Brandis. The picture's to my left and to your right. Michelle, if you're out there, we're trying to tell you to turn yourself in because we will find you sooner or later. And if anybody out there is trying to help Michelle, if we can, we will charge you with the charges we can charge you with. As of this point, Mr. Gress is being charged with kidnapping Miranda, and this, again, this is an active investigation. More charges are soon to follow. I want to thank the following agencies for helping us out: Gulfport, Largo, and Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, our state and federal partners. Again, this is a horrific crime. We are still investigating it. We want to ensure that we bring justice to Miranda. The investigators are looking at every piece of evidence that we can find. And again, I want to say we want to hold all responsible parties accountable. So with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Hey, do you, anyone with his family and maybe some witness came in that it seems to family members?
Both of her parents are deceased, and her grandmother at this time is not ready to talk to anyone.
Can you talk a little bit about the discrepancy between her leaving on the 14th and then being reported missing on the 24th as a 10-day time window? Do we know who reported her missing and why that might not have been caught earlier?
Sure, I'll ask the chief.
Hi there, I'm Commander Mary Farron. I'm currently the acting chief of police for Gulfport. We are very familiar with Miranda. We know that she is a frequent runaway, and she has a history of mental health issues as well as drug abuse. The grandmother is her primary caregiver at this time, and she said that she normally comes home, so she doesn't report her missing every time she leaves. She just didn't come back in a timely manner this time.
Was it her grandmother that reported her missing then?
It was.
And any affiliation with local schools noticing that she was absent for 10 days?
No, Miranda is actually homeschooled.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any work again to, I know, Miss Michelle Brandis, who maybe watching this and seeing this, about this crime?
Yeah, we do want to talk to her because, again, she was present when they moved Miranda around, and we want to talk to her. And again, either she can come in and talk to us, or we will find her. So again, like you're saying, Michelle, if you're listening, or your friends, find your way to the police department and to her friends that think they're helping her. If we can make charges, we will make charges.
How do we know Michelle was there?
We have witnesses that says she was there. We have witnesses that said that they saw her along with the defendant, with the body being placed in the car.
She was home in Largo. What's the connection? Obviously, they left this on lives there? What were they doing there?
That is Michelle's mother's home.
We know that her body may be in a landfill. Are you guys going to go through with supplying her body?
We're going to do everything possible to bring Miranda home. Again, we know the body was placed into a dumpster, but we got to try to figure out which landfill did that dumpster go to.
Chief, can you talk about what lured Miranda to this couple and to this home? Were they offering her something to come live with them? What was the nature of that relationship?
So the social media page they were on was a dating app. So we're assuming that they must have met on a date. She went there on the 14th. And then again, like I said, she came back around on the 15th.
Do you plan to file any additional charges against either of them related to sexual contact with a minor?
We're going to put every possible charge on everyone that was involved in this. And that's why, again, the defendant's already in jail on another charge. And again, I would reiterate to Michelle, come in. Anything else? So I want to turn it over to our Major Halstead. She's going to talk to you about a 17-year-old that we have missing here in St. Petersburg. Major Michelle? Major Halstead.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Major Shannon Halstead with the department, just over 24 years. I appreciate your time. I understand the difficulty in transitioning to that from that conversation right into another one, but we've had an important update in this case that we want to share with everyone. We've been investigating a missing runaway since March 1st. His name is Alistair Nasir. He was last seen in the 6500 block of the Bayou Grand Boulevard Northeast. The update that I want to share with you is that when we originally posted him on our social media page, we didn't have any reason to believe that he would be missing and endangered. As you know, we often have between 12 and 15 runaways at any given time. Last night at 2 a.m., we received additional information sharing with us that the family found a note that he had written prior to leaving the residence. So the content of the note has obviously caused us alarm, and that's why we have listed him as missing and endangered today. The other thing that's happened since we last put out the media alert is that detectives were able to find additional video of him traveling westbound on 62nd Avenue past Mangrove Bay Middle School. The reason why I'm sharing that with you is because the original video that you saw, he was wearing a blue backpack in that video. We know for a fact he dropped that backpack off at Canterbury School there on the north side of 62nd Avenue. In the video that we found earlier today, he now has a red backpack. So I just wish that as you're sharing the information, the latest update that we have is that same clothing description, same bicycle white cruiser description, but that he may have a red backpack. We, as far as resources that we've used to locate him, neighborhood canvases to include several different residents in Placido Bayou, where we've followed a trail of technical data, reference a cell phone, obviously have examined computer. The family has been awesome in collaborating with us in reference to even working with a PI to try to get information out, both digital flyers, hard copy flyers. The other thing today, once we found that updated photo, is we have drones. Many of you probably realize there's a wooded area just south of the Canterbury campus. So, our concern is he in that wooded area somewhere? So we've been working on that this morning, too. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
What was in the note that was concerning with that?
That he had an intent to harm himself.
You mentioned he dropped a backpack off at a local school and he has another one. Is there any intention to do harm to not only himself but others?
No, ma'am, no, absolutely no indications of that. The backpack that he dropped off was dropped there strategically for a certain person, and we've talked with her and all of his friends. We've also talked with personnel at the school he attends, as well as doing, as part of the neighborhood canvas, we had a specific residence in Placido Bayou, and then talked with everyone in the surrounding houses to see if there's other teenagers that live close by. As you know, sometimes the digital evidence will give you an address, but it's not an exact location. So there's been a lot of neighborhood canvassing throughout that neighborhood, Ring doorbells, surveillance systems to see if we can find a better location.
Is there anything that you would say to Alistair about the people who are missing him and wanting him to come home? Or
Sure, absolutely. I appreciate that question. The family is obviously very concerned. He has, I believe there are 3 brothers in the family, and the middle brother actually came back from out of town to help with the search of this. So I think that speaks, the family is concerned. This is not something that this kid normally does, and it's important that we have everyone's help in trying to locate him.
Do you think other people could be involved in maybe hiding him or keeping him away from home?
We did the initial interview of the friends and a girlfriend, and then went back and did secondary interviews just to make sure that they realized the resources that were being deployed and that everyone's level of concern was continuing to heighten, and to make sure that wasn't the case. So we don't believe that's the case. Thank you, everyone.